the chakra meditation, but was it 29 chakras? I could physically feel my chakra, like the energy, like below the earth and my feet. I could feel like this tingling in my body and as it went up my legs, and it felt really amazing. And I felt like I saw Radha and Krishna, and I was with them, and we were like catapulted like through the chakras. We were like catapulted to into Goloka, and I was there with them, and I was them, but then they were also themselves, they were there, but I was also them at the same time. And it just felt I felt very really fantastic, and filled with love and serene, and it was a really good feeling, to be in this place.
And yesterday morning with karma yoga, my body started vibrating. I was a vibration, and then the fast breathing started with me just by itself. I didn't do anything. I just started when on. So it was
right now, it was instant. I closed my eyes and I went into Goloka, and it was so beautiful. It was as if all the clouds were there, and they all had faces. All the clouds had faces, and they were talking. And so it was like they were moving and dancing with the energy there. So it was really nice. And then I saw rabbits, lots of rabbits, white rabbits, and peacocks. I didn't see Radha Krishna immediately. I saw the clouds talking with faces in it, and rabbits and peacocks dancing. And then I saw lots and lots of green grass swaying with the wind, as if they were dancing too. And then I saw Radha and Krishna completely in embrace with each other. And then you asked us to open the eyes. So when I opened my eyes, ever since then, I am sad. It's like I can't stop crying. So I don't know what it is. That's why I haven't been able to share.
And then Radha and Krishna wanted to give me a tour of the Golden Palace. And we went to have lunch. So we were walking around the Golden Palace, and that was really impressive. And and I was just feeling like love, like a lot of love and joy, and the colors are really beautiful. The place was really beautiful. The colors were beautiful, and it was like before. Also, I was with Radha and Krishna, but sometimes I become them. Like I was with them, but then I'd become them, and then we were three of us, and then I was Radha, and I was with Krishna, so it kept transforming. And then when the Garuda, you always say we're inside the Garuda, but sometimes I see myself, I sit on top of the Garuda and I hold on to the Garuda and I fly with him too. And then sometimes I go inside, and I was dancing inside the Garuda.
This is my experience on Goloka travel. So we started off with Garuda. So I could feel in the Garuda, we all were there. I mean, everyone who was present in the process, I could see each and everyone in the Garuda. And everyone was really enjoying, like a small child, how do you enjoy the rides if you go to a theme park? Same way, everyone was really, really enjoying. And, everyone was like, whenever they see something, everyone will be like, see, I saw this. Do you want to see that? Like, how kids are so curious and they show each other when they see something new. So everyone was like that on Garuda. And then when we reached Goloka, from the top view, like an aerial view, we could see the whole Goloka, spinning. I mean, each petals were like spinning, clockwise and anti-clockwise. And from the top itself, we could feel the vibration of Goloka, the music and dance. Goloka itself is like vibrating. And I could feel that when the Garuda was flying through the lotus, and we can feel it, like the music from very long distance itself. You can hear the music and everything. And I even saw that milk ocean. I could see waterfalls actually. So when we are going near that, the waterfalls, it'll fall on your face. The same thing, I could feel it on my face. That milk, actually, that's Surabhi cow's milks. So I could feel that. So I felt like it was nectar. And then we reached nature, and when through nature also, we started flying a lot on Garuda. So it's like we are flying above the river. So we are taking water in our hands and we are spilling on each other, playing and enjoying. And then the Garuda was flying into the waterfall. And then we entered in another place, and I saw Govardhana hill there. And then I was on top of the Govardhana hill, and then I was coming down. Then again I'm going top. Again I'm sliding down. So like a small child, how we play like that. And everyone was on some flowers, and then everyone was jumping like as if we are jumping on a trampoline, going up, coming down. And everyone was in so much of joy and love and everything. And I could see some trees. The trees were actually not on the floor. It was not having any roots like how we see on planet Earth. It was floating. The trees were coming and hugging me. Even the plants were coming and hugging me. Then I could see so many fruits which I've never seen here. The fruits itself came to me and I was having them. So as and when I was going through this experience, my son was sitting here. He was playing actually. So I was sitting on the chair for some time. Then I felt like lying down. So I came on the couch and I was lying down. And after some time, he came and he was lying down next to me. So then I was like, he was like, what are you doing? Like, for past 2-3 days, he kept on asking me this. Before he never used to ask. Now he's a little bit growing up. So, he keeps asking, what is this? So I told, yeah, I'm going to Goloka. So he's like, I also want to come to Goloka. I said, yeah, you're also with me in Goloka. And then he's like closing his eyes and he's like, I can see the trees floating. Like the same thing which I saw, he said he's able to see. He's like, Mummy, there's no gravity here. The trees are floating. It is hugging me. And then he's like, I saw so many cows. The cows are like green, red, yellow, white, all those colors he started saying. And then he said that the horns were like golden in color. And they had some bells, golden bells on their neck. And he's like, they're dancing and they're shaking their head like this. And he was, explaining everything to me. So I was so surprised, like, he was just playing and then he just came here and he started telling all these things. And then he's like, Goloka is super, super beautiful and I love Goloka. I want to be in Goloka. It's I love million times more than the planet Earth. And he was telling all that. And then he just went into sleep and he was lying on me and then he just went into sleep. So I was also so surprised, like, because I was also seeing all these visions there. So the same thing, he was like, he kept on telling me, yeah, I see this, I see this. So that's the nature part. And then I saw when we went to Dasya petal, the Seva petal, I saw so many people who looks like Radha and Krishna, and they're teaching some scriptures to people there itself, or teaching something about Krishna. So that was just, like a 5 minutes or something which I saw, not a lot, like the nature part. Then in friendship petal, I saw Krishna playing with his friends, Krishna and Radha. They were playing with their friends, all like around 7-8 year children, like that. And everyone was like playing around, and everyone looked again like Krishna and Radha. Everyone is having the same feature of Radha and Krishna. And to my surprise, I saw a person whom I don't like at all in my life in Goloka. I never used to like her for some reasons, and whatever she did to me. And I could never ever see that person in Goloka. I can't even think of some. There are certain people, like, you can't even think of them being in Goloka. So then I saw her in Goloka and I started feeling that she's Radha. So then immediately the anger, the hate which I had towards that particular girl, it just vanished because she's Radha. So, I couldn't see her as that girl anymore. I could feel only her as Radha there. And then I saw the gopis and gopas serving Radha and Krishna. Some of them are, dressing them up. Some of them are, picking flowers for them. Some of them are putting henna on Radha's hands. And, all that I saw. And then when we entered into the Madhuridam, the petal, the innermost area, I could see that we all were there dancing, singing, and everyone was also dressed up like Radha and Krishna. And I also saw, I was playing with the Krishna actually. Like a song came and it was like as if Krishna is like playing around with me. He's hiding somewhere and he's playing the flute. And I'm like going in search of him, like, where are you? Where are you? And like he's teasing me. And we were having nice time with Krishna actually. I felt myself as Radha playing around with him. At that time I was a very little girl, like maybe around 10 years old. And then after that I saw the Radha and Krishna in the pericap region where they're sitting on the big golden throne, and Krishna's hands over Radha's shoulders, and on his one hand flute, and they both were sitting and smiling, and we all went next to their feet. We all were lying down on their feet, and we were taking their blessings. And then Krishna was giving us Diksha, and I could feel from his feet honey started flowing out. And then I was drinking that honey from his feet. And then after that, I saw we all were like, this one song, dance song came, and we all immediately started playing dandiya around Radha and Krishna. And I also had gratitude feeling. Then I was having so much of love inside me. And at some point of time, I felt like crying, and I cried. It's not because I was sad. It's because I was really, really happy. And I really felt like I was belonging to Goloka. I felt like I am from Goloka. And I know that I have to go back to Goloka.
We arrived in Goloka. So every tree that I saw in Goloka had different, precious stones on it, and each one signified something different. like each, one had rubies, and one was to give me more work, for the rubies. And each tree would bend over and hug me, and I could feel their heartbeat. And they had legs too and arms, and they would hug me, and they were so kind, these trees. And then I would go from the ruby tree then I'd go to the next tree, to the sapphire tree that was for love and relationships, and they each had a different personality, like each one of these trees. And so it was like there were 4 different trees that I went to, and then this hand came down from one of the trees, and it was a monkey who pulled me up and wanted me to climb with him. So they took me up, and I was playing with the monkey, like going with the trees. I was like, I can't climb like you. But it was really fun to play with them. Like, I just was having so much fun.
But now I know why I have those pain, or why did I have those kind of pain, is just to become close to Radha and Krishna. Without that, I would have never been into this, or I would have never even known them. So I was feeling so grateful even for my pains, which I had in my life. But then I was holding my Srimurti like this in my hand, and I was like sitting here. So she was giving us a Diksha, and I could feel the power flowing from this Vigraha to my body. I could really feel that. Then I could feel my full body. I could feel something is getting into my body. I don't know what it was. I don't remember anything. For a while, I just went off. But I could feel very powerful. The energy was really, really powerful.